It was a hot night. The air conditioner was broken, but I didn't care. I didn't care because I'm staring at a goddess. If looks could kill, she'd have you at first glance. I don't know why she's with me. She could have any guy, but she picked my ugly mug. I'm not going to waste any time. Oh wait, this is for the other podcast. Sorry about that. Let me get this back in order. Hold on for a sec. Hello, good day, good afternoon, evening, and hola! Welcome back to motherfucking episode 2. I'm your host, Johnny Flores Jr., and welcome once again to Metal Gear Resurrections. This is the podcast that is not into the technical aspect, not into the origins behind the games, not into what awards these games have been nominated or won. Well, what are we into? This podcast is into what the game has meant to me, your podcast host, what the game holds personally. We are going to embark on a journey. These games hold a special place in my heart. I'm not a big-time influencer. I'm not a person in the business. I don't have the ears of the people. What do I have then? I'm going to do what maybe not much people are doing. I want to talk with the people who love these games. I want to talk with the people who don't have a voice and wish to have one. I invite any and all to talk about these games. It can be anything you want to talk about, and it doesn't have to be clean. Why? Because I fucking say so. I hit that button to put that special E icon on my episodes before uploading. I will share that information if you want to contact me at the end of the episode. Well, let's get into it. Where did we last leave off? Oh yes. But first, a quick public service announcement. Hello everyone, we here at Metal Gear Resurrections want to put out a public apology for our harsh critique of Nintendo on our last episode. We don't want to alienate gamers who support and play Nintendo games, and to make it official, we are joined by a special guest tonight, Mario.
Hello everybody, it's me, Mario.
Hello Mario.
Just a Mario, please.
Okay Mario. I would like to apologize for the comments on the last episode. Nintendo is a fine company, and your games are good.
That's okay, John.
Dear God, no! Kept you waiting, huh? The heliport, our protagonist, Solid Snake, has arrived at the unforgiving Alaskan winter weather, and we hear one of many codec calls. We see Liquid and the Hind D, a Russian gunship. I'm sure for action junkies, this was a real kick, hearing the words Russian and gunship in one sentence. My only question would be, why in the fuck are you going to do with a gunship in Alaska against fighter jets? This Liquid guy either has balls of steel or he's not all that bright. Irregardless, our antagonist flies away, leaving us the player in another playground. The outdoor element. I make my way to the first guard and try to sneak behind him. But you know what happens? He notices my footprints in his patrol. What was I fucking thinking? The guards in the cargo dock, they notice wet footprints. Why did I not realize they could see footprints in the snow? What do? Well, I hurry up, bum rush him, and start to choke him and snap his neck. This was becoming a pattern. I hope this game is not keeping a tally of my kills and various other statistical information, which, what kind of game series would do that? With that guard dispatched, I see the others. Everyone is spread out nicely. I can get around them if needed. I have 2 ways to get into the building, so I dash to the helipad. Without giving it a thought, it's obvious what those lights are. I get spotted by the searchlights. Now every guard is on alert. And they are chasing me now. No weapons on me. No clue what to do next. What do? I use the searchlights as lighting and begin the dance. The dance of, oh shit, I've been spotted, and run around in circles around the guards. As they shoot their weapons, my health bar starts to diminish. And I want to say within less than 2 minutes, I died. My character, the protagonist, Solid Snake, dies in the helipad. I watch the screen fade into the game over screen, and hearing the colonel call out to me. I was both utterly shocked and amazed. It sucked that I died again already, but that the game over screen was so fucking cool looking. I like the interactive display of both audio and visual. Seeing and hearing the sound of game over, not like any other game that I've seen at the time, had this much thought of what the game over screen would look like and what it would sound like as well. Usually it would be like a black screen with the words game over on it, or it would just restart the game and bring it back to the main menu. But this game was different. It showed me that it was how the game was over, and then it proceeded to ask me, do I want to continue or do I want to exit? Exit? Why would I want to exit this game? Perhaps to give the option that we as the gamer played too long and needed a break. But I ventured for further. I smashed that continue button. I needed to get into that tank hangar. Side note, I wonder if anyone had an idea to make a video of Solid Snake and the Searchlights, and to the tune of ballroom music proceeded to woo and dance with one of the Genome soldiers, with the lights following them as they sway across the helipad. The dance ends, and with the rest of the soldiers just tossing their bullets onto the stage. Anyone? No one thought of that? Except for me? Alright, moving on. Back to the heliport. I make my way to the right of the level and book it straight for the staircase. Tempted to snap another soldier's neck, I wait him out. I let him show me the way up the staircase, and then it happens. I get caught. A camera spotted me. Another alert. This time, I had enough of this. I flipped the guard that stood in my way, run up the staircase to the top of the level, and run for the duct. I immediately get right in it. As I do, I hear footsteps. More soldiers are on my tail. As I enter the duct to what I perceive as freedom from their treachery, the Genome asshat soldier throws in a frag grenade. I said to myself, they can do that? This would mean that nowhere is absolutely safe. If they see you try to hide out of their reach, instead of crawling in to get you, they'll just happily toss a frag. Luckily, I had enough of a head start that it didn't kill me. Hallelujah. But it did damage my health bar. As I ventured in the duct, another call came in. This time, it would be Snake's old survival trainer, Master Miller. This call calmed me down after being hunted down. Hearing the quick background, and knowing that if needed, he can be reached by the codec. With all the resources at Snake's disposal, how could I fail going forward? As I left the heliport and began to enter the tank hangar, I wondered what would be the next hurdles that I would either have to avoid or overcome. As I entered the tank hangar, I saw the tanks. At this time, I thought, wow, that's some cool window dressing for this game, having these tanks here. Little did I know that one of them would soon become the bane of my existence. And lo and behold, to get to my next objective, the DARPA chief, the dreaded elevator, would come back into play. I mean, enough already. A perfectly late, not in use elevator will come to bite my ass once more. I play this hangar like the cargo dock. All these guards will have to die by my hand, because at this time, I still didn't have a weapon. So here I am, the protagonist, luring the guards into the corners of the room, and then pouncing on them, choking them out and snapping their necks. However, being indoors, the guards that are near can hear the deaths of their comrades. Fuck, shit. I quickly hid underneath one of the tanks and waited them out. Suckers, you're next. After the caution was cleared, so became the room. I dispatched the rest of the guards, went over to the elevator, and proceeded to hit the call button. Sweet victory. Now all I have to do is wait. And during that time, I thought to myself, when in the hell am I going to get a gun? I mean, everyone else has them. I would eventually start to pack a weapon, right? I mean, the back of the game case showed Snake holding a weapon. How long am I going to have to wait to get a piece? And just like that, the sweet sound came on through the speaker. Ding! The elevator arrived. I ran in, hit the B1 button. Time to meet up with the DARPA chief. The elevator got me to my destination, the holding cells. I thought, cool, I'll just walk in, right? No problem. Oh, no. No. What kind of game would make it that easy for you? With the door locked, another call came in. I had been instructed to find another way in. Perhaps another duct to crawl into? Then I thought, what is this turning into? Am I going to go in and out of ducts the whole game? Also, is there a way that I can just have these calls go to a voicemail? Because some of these calls were just starting to become annoying, or at least let the call continue as the character, continue to move around. But I digress. I walked down to the end of the hallway, and there was the ladder. Cool, let's John McClane this bitch. I went up into the duct, I went along, and began to hear moaning. Not like a sexual moan, more of a, please, dear God, don't let me shit my pants moan. I went to the first-person view and saw a man in the toilet. I was like, okay, as long as I don't see what he's doing in that bowl, we're cool. Don't let this be that kind of game. And thank God it wasn't. Little did I know that this Johnny character would be a continued joke through the series. This dude had diarrhea. And later on, or you can say early on, his family tale would be spoken of at later games. But going back, he mentioned a woman. What woman? I don't particularly remember a woman. Would she need to be rescued as well? Hey. Nobody put in the order for a dame that needed to be rescuing as well. There's too much going on. Easy, Johnny. Not that Johnny, this Johnny. The Johnny that's playing the game. Let's forget about the Johnny that's on the toilet. We've passed that. Continuing on, crawling into the duct, I had forgot to stop to see Meryl. Instead, I just kept going to the end. Side note, on replays, I would stop to see Meryl, not for pervy reasons. Get that out of your head, please. Get your minds out of the gutter. To see different animations she would perform in her cell. I thought that was cool and detailed, so I go down to the cell. Here we go, man. Time to rescue the DARPA chief. Without a weapon, oh well, my hands were lethal enough. Plus, I don't think we'll have to go that far. Maybe he'll just hide out in an office. This is where we would get the skinny on what was going on. And that I was going to have to rescue another person. Damn it. How many people am I going to have to pull from this heap of ice? He also talked about whether the demands of the terrorists were going to be met. In fact, this guy asked way too many questions. I was starting to get a real weird, strange vibe from him. Like, he was holding back or he knew something that I didn't know. Quick animation. One of the guards yelling at the DARPA chief to shut up. I thought for sure I was caught. Luckily, I was playing the legendary soldier, for which at this time I had no idea as to why. And before we can get any more information from the nosy chief, he's ups and has a heart attack. He just ups and dies and has a heart attack. I was like, what? Are you for real? Everyone can hear this guy dying. The girl in the next room, next cell, is yelling for the guards to check on him. I'm just watching as the video game character die from real life affliction. Usually in video game, characters die from like crazier shit, like a bolt of lightning, fireball to the face, being eaten by a Yoshi, or getting run off by a road by a crazy motorcyclist. Not from a clogged artery. This is just old man shit and just too normal. Pandemonium strikes. The guards, from what I can hear, are being attacked. My door opens. Cautiously, I leave the cell, and what do I see? A pixelated image of a grown-ass man. Ass. A grown-ass man's ass. What the fuck? I laughed, and that split second I get held up and get mistaken for Liquid, which I thought was weird, and then framed for murdering the chief. And wouldn't you know it, Boss time! A storm of heavily armed guards burst in. I finally get a gun. Oh yeah, time to shoot my way out. Of course, I get a crappy pistol, and the one person who has an assault rifle gets the jitters on shooting. So there I am, running around this small little room, getting shot up and trying to shoot back as best as I can. But that was just the first wave. Fuck me, this girl better start shooting, or I'm going to try to hide in the cell. And to top the cherry, the next wave are throwing in flashbangs. I'm blind! And shooting like a madman. Luckily, the AI from Arrow is picking up where I lacked. And within a speck of life left, it's over. This boss battle is done. As our characters head out into the hallway, some trippy shit goes down. The game gets crazy, and I see a character straight out of the movie 8mm. Meryl, acting all weird and shit, runs away from me to the elevator. Obviously, Snake stares at her ass. I don't know why, but he does. This dominatrix dude breathing like he's about to come. Meryl gestures a move that puzzles me, which would later on I would see both Liquid and Solid themselves doing it. The fist pump when they succeed. Then I get another call from the support team, and we're briefed about Psycho Mantis and his abilities. I thought, great. I'm fighting the X-Men. What could be next? A guy or gal that can fly, or walk through walls, or shapeshift. Are there going to be any regular enemies to battle? But I'm getting too far ahead. Who knows what the other baddies would be like? Can't get any harder, right? Right? Why is no one answering? Oh, that's right. I'm talking to myself in an empty room right now. Anyway, on to the next objective. Rescue the Armstech President. His location? Tank Hangar B2. Armory. This is a fun room. Once I figure out not to stay still on the trap floor. I'm not going to lie. That trap floor killed me at least twice. The first time, I had walked right into it, had no idea, didn't pay attention to the sound, and fell right through and died. The second time, I was being chased down by a soldier and fell for the trap. That would happen at a return trip at a later time. The soldier knew where the trap floor was. How could I have forgotten it? After that, I made a mental note. Don't fall for the trap. With the level 1 key card I had gotten, I was able to get C4, ammo for my gun. Now, where the fuck is the president? I don't see a pathway to the armory south. Am I missing something? Learning that the hallway to the south had been sealed off with concrete, but in the rush of the job, not painted. What kind of job was that? Not painting the wall? First, the elevator is so fucking slow in the two areas so far. And now you're telling me that construction work had been completed in a slam-banger fashion and not painted over to match the rest of the wall. It definitely wasn't a union job, I'll tell you that right now. Fucking government contracts. Alright, here comes the fun part. Blowing shit up. Now, if you were me, how would you identify the discolored wall? Go ahead. Take a guess. Did you say, I don't know, look in first-person view? Because yes, you are correct. Another way was to tap on the wall to hear the sounds of the false wall. I did neither of those things. What did I do? I had wired the whole back wall with C4 and just set off a chain reaction of explosions. I mean, I was bound to get the wall that needed to be destroyed. And I did, but now I had to go back to the room and gather more C4. Because guess what? There were more walls that needed to be blown up. Geared up and ready to do some damage, I continued to blow up the walls. On the last wall, I could see a room, unlike the other ones. I go, come on. I could see the old man in the middle of the room. This must be the Armstech president. So I enter the room. Cutscene triggers. And lo and behold, we've located the president. As Snake tries to free him, the Armstech president goes ballistic, telling me he's wired C4. And from the corner of the room comes the man of the hour. Revolver fucking Ocelot. He tells us that he expects a truly worthy battle, especially since that we shared the player playing as Solid Snake, share the same code name as the boss. What's the old adage? You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. I want to know more about this boss of you guys. But first things first, I gotta get through this guy to move forward. The duel begins. And what didn't I do before entering this room? Load up the gun. So there I am, Armsec's president's life in the balance along with the mission. And I'm just going to bare knuckle brawl this guy. So what do I say? Fuck it. Let's do it. I chase the old man around the room, punch him up a couple of times. But doing so, I open myself up to more damage. Can't do that. So I quickly equip my pistol and continue to chase Revolver also around the room while shooting. He takes much more damage and goes on to ramble how thrilling it is that he hasn't had a challenge like this in a while. Blah, blah, blah. I'm here to end you, old man. Stay still and take your lead pills. Another cutscene pauses the fight. Revolver, fearing he would lose his battle, tries to play dirty. In an attempt to kill the Armsec president, Revolver Ocelot lunges forward to shoot and kill the president. But out of nowhere, with a swipe of a blade, Revolver's arm is severed from his body. It turns fucking nuts in this room because a cyborg ninja appears and cuts the rest of the wires to free the president. And in doing so, sets off the explosions, which I would think that would kill everyone in the room, but it didn't. Ocelot freaks out, rightfully so, because he's just lost his shooting hand, runs off, leaving me and the president alone with a killing machine. The cyber ninja doesn't identify itself. Instead, we're given like a riddle of some type. He's like us, and it has no name. And in a manic state, freaks out, runs out of the room in a fury of screams. I don't know about you, but if I see a cyber ninja that does that kind of shit, flips the fuck out, goes all psychotic, I'm getting the fuck out of town. I'm not waiting for what this thing is going to do next. Or at the very least, use the remaining C4 to blow it the fuck up. Perhaps we shall see it again. We finally meet up with the Armsec president, and we get the lowdown on what the fuck is going on. The truth about everything. Not only were we lied about the mission, we lied about the nuclear capabilities of the terrorists, the sons of Big Boss. That this facility we're in is not a nuclear disposal site. It's actually a weapons research facility for Metal fucking Gear. Metal Gear, huh? And you want to know what the kicker is? Or should I say the first kicker? Since this is the first game in the series for me, I had no idea Solid Snake had battled Metal Gears in the past on the MSX games and successfully destroyed each of them. The other kicker is that the old man is having a heart attack. Again, I say to myself, another heart attack? This shit is becoming a pattern. Two men, both in the proximity of my character, die of the same ailment. We contact the colonel, and to find out what's going on, all we're told is that they don't know why these men have both died. But we must venture forward to find out if Metal Gear is operational. And if so, take it down. The next thing to do, I need to contact Meryl, which we find out is the colonel's niece. Small world, Colonel. What's next? We're going to find someone else's relative or sibling on this mission? Eh? We're going to find out soon about that. Snake will have to rendezvous with Meryl. But in order to do so, I got to contact her. But in order to contact her, I'm told I need the case. So, right now the game is actually breaking the fourth wall to tell me, hey, in that game you just bought, flip the case over, look in the back, which probably not too many people did at the time, and read the codec. So in doing so, we finally contact Meryl. We gotta meet her up back at the tank hangar, beginning where we left from when we started from this mission, reaching the tank hangar. hangar. And in doing so, she's going to open a cargo door for us. And also, she's going to tell us that there are trip laser sensors. If tripped, we'll seal the room and fill it with poisonous gas. So how should I proceed? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I didn't have thermal goggles. In fact, I barely had any equipment to begin with other than a pistol and C4. So, what do? I'm going to use the cigarettes I smuggled in my stomach. That's right. I pop the cigs in. They actually show me the location of the lasers. So like my namesake, I crawl on the ground like the snake that I am. And try to avoid the sensors to the best of my ability. This is the only area that I succeeded on the first try, and that made me so very happy. Finally, I get something like this in the first go. The cargo door opens, and now we enter the area that I hate so fucking much with the boss that annoyed the ever-living fuck out of me. The canyon. And with that, dear listeners, is the conclusion of Part 2. Part 3 and the conclusion of this game will be released on December 5th. If you want to reach out with subjects or materials that you'd like to have covered, email me at metalgearresurrections@yahoo.com or on Twitter at metalgearres or my personal Twitter page at Johnny_Flores Jr. I'll put this information into the detailed description on the podcast. With the conclusion of this episode, I leave you with a poem, Brown Penny by William Butler Yeats. I whispered, I am too young, and then I am old enough. Wherefore I threw a penny to find out if I might love. Go and love, young man, if the lady be young and fair. Ah, penny, brown penny, I am looped in the loops of her hair. Oh, love is a crooked thing, there is nobody wise enough to find out all that is in it, for he would be the thinking of love, till the stars had run away, and the shadows eaten the moon. Ah, penny, brown penny, one cannot begin it too soon. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Johnny Flores Jr., and this was an episode of Metal Gear Resurrections. And if you can, please support your local libraries. They need your help, especially in rural areas. There are resources and programs to help both children and adults in your communities.